But I like to go see movies. Everybody knows I'm a movie person. But I always go to see movies that aren't they're just fantastic kind of, cinematography stuff. I don't want reality because I deal too much with reality. So I deliberately went because at this particular time it was King Kong. My fault. I own it. I go to see King Kong, and the only reason why, of course, I had seen it, the earlier versions, but the cinematography for this new one was phenomenal. All the mechanics and all the new stuff. King Kong was doing all kind of amazing stuff. So I decided I was gonna go. So I'm in, I don't know, at Baltimore. I don't know where I am traveling, and I'm with this friend of mine named Dennis. So we go in. I didn't realize the movie was 3 hours. First of all, I had to go to the bathroom when I got in, so I had to get out. And so I'm trying to figure out when during the movie do I run out. So I decided it's a big bug scene, Jurassic bugs. I don't like little bugs, certainly don't like big ones. So I decided this is a good time to run out. So I run out, and as I'm running out, this is like the first day opening, so it's like 5 theaters of King Kong. So this guy runs out with his son, white man. He's like mid-30s, and he's got this son, looks about 8 or 10. So they're running out, and I'm going, whoa, that was out of control. The bug scene. He goes, oh boy, was it? I said, yeah, that was clearly the worst part so far. So the father runs in, but his son stops and goes, yeah, I didn't like those black people. And I'm going, why me? Is it me? Do I have like a sign on me, right? And then the kid runs in the bathroom. So I go back in the show and I tell Dennis what just happened, and Dennis falls out laughing. He goes, Joy, this only happens to you. And I'm going, but because there's a scene and here's the thing about it, this is so amazing about the scene. There's a scene of cannibals, but they're not black people. They're all kind of people. And right now they got to be politically correct. So you had Asians, and they zoomed in so you could see even the main character was a blonde woman with blue eyes. But they physically were all black, even though they represented different ethnicities. Because, they couldn't have all black people, and they're not in, this age. So, but the little boy, he couldn't see that subtlety. So I'm sitting there, now I'm upset because I couldn't process. And Dennis goes, Joe, you can't process this. It's over, it's done. There are thousands of people. You're never going to be able to fix this, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm messed up for the rest of the movie. So the movie is over, we walk out, and there are droves of people coming out. And who do you think is standing there leaning on the rail? Was this man and his son. And I say, Dennis, this is he goes, no way. I said, yes, Wade, that's him. So I walk over to the man and I said, do you remember me? He says, yeah, you ran out during the bug scene. Well, they were waiting for the daughter to come out of the bathroom. That's why we were leaning, waiting at the room. I said, can I ask your son something? He says, certainly. So I say to the little boy, I said, now that you've seen the whole movie, because, King Kong bites it in the end. I'm figuring that's pretty bad. I said, what do you think the worst part of the movie was now? He goes, those black people. And his father goes, whoa, I'm sure. Well, yeah, they were. He was so the father. I said, listen, I know your son's not a Nazi. Don't worry about it. That's not what the issue. And the son runs off. I said, the issue here is that they weren't all black people, but that's his image. Because you see, it wasn't the monsters that were horrific. It was those people were. And that's the image in his mind. And he's so young, he couldn't see that there were actually different groups of people as those cannibals. He only saw black people. And his father, you could just see, was tortured. He says, I don't know. This problem is so big. I don't know if we can ever make it right. And I said, you see, now we're having another conversation, he and I. He goes, it's just so big. I don't know if we can make it right. I said, perhaps. I said, I have to believe that we can. And so his daughter runs out, and now he has his son and his daughter, and he's disturbed, though, you can tell. And he's walking away, and Dennis looks at me, and I look at Dennis, and he gets to the escalator, and he stops, and he takes both of his children, and he turns around, and he walks back to me, and he says, but I will make it right with them, because I can make it right with them. You see, that's where the healing begins, That's where, those moments.